already crazy. It's gonna get even crazier next Tuesday.
All right, guys, we soon gonna talk about two big championship wins for Blake Monroe and Tatum Paxley. Let's tune in more and let's talk about Halloween Havoc, these victories.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey guys, we soon gonna talk about right now Blake Monroe, Tatum Paxley and Blake Monroe win first titles at NXT Halloween Havoc of 2025. Let's tune into it. We talking about both of these women who came out on top. First, we had Blake Monroe win the North American Championship for Zaria, who's standing in for Sol Ruca, who is out with an injury, to win the North American Championship, and Tatum Paxley win the NXT Women's Championship from then champion JC Jane. So these are big wins for both of these women. But first, let's talk about Blake Monroe. Now, Blake Monroe, she has a very short time in NXT, and already she rivaled with Jordan Grace, and now she is the Women's North American Champion, her first championship in WWE on NXT brand. For guys that don't know, Blake Monroe, formerly known as Mariah May, who was the AEW Women's World Champion. I guess this can make history. She is the first former AEW Women's World Champion from AEW to win a championship in NXT with the NXT Women's North American Champion. And she won that by using her tactics and her swag, doing whatever she could to win the championship.
She has just become the most...
So congratulations are in order for Blake Monroe. I'm glad she won the championship. And if you follow the storyline with NXT every Tuesday on CW, you pretty much had an idea. You knew it was coming that Blake Monroe will go on to win the Women's North American Championship. Since Zaria lost a match to her already on NXT with Blake Monroe using a hair clip. She didn't use the hair clip this time, however. What she did was she caused a distraction, where she purposely knocked Sol Ruca down while she was holding her cane. Zaria lost focus. She was focused on Sol Ruca, get her up. And then Blake Monroe hit a finisher, and that was it. It was a wrap. Blake Monroe wins the match. She is crowned the Women's North American Champion, leaving Sol Ruca and Zaria in distraught, looking very, very sad, as some had thought that Zaria was going to hold it down for Sol Ruca. And we're going to see where that storyline goes too, but this is a big win for Blake Monroe. Now, we can see she got a lot of challenges coming for her, but it's glamorous. She has the glamorous champion. She has the character patted down. Wrestling getting a little bit better than when she was in AEW, but this is a good win for her, and I can see them having a very good program with her running the championship. She got a championship for a good 3-4 months, because Sol Ruca, the previous champion, held the championship for 6 months. Over 180 days. So salute to Sol Ruca. She was a great Women's North American Champion. Let's hope, and let's see if Blake Monroe can continue that trend of being a great Women's North American Champion, just like Sol Ruca was and when she had her run. But it's going to be very, very interesting how this is going to go down. Now, we can see Zaria try to get a rematch for the belt, and I can see Sol Ruca, force a rematch, but I think Blake Monroe's going to retain the title either way it goes. But enough of her. Let's go on to Tatum Paxley. Now, this was actually a bigger shocker of the night. Tatum Paxley winning the NXT Women's Championship from JC Jane with all the doubt against her and her being a clear underdog in this match. She won the championship, her first championship as well. She won the major championship. Now, JC Jane, who was a part of Fatal Influence, the leader of that group, and called herself the so-called beatable champion. She at once held 2 belts, the TNA Knockouts title and the NXT Women's title. But we did see Fatal Influence and the Colon both getting to it. They were both escorted out by the referee. However, the Colon had came back, and Fatal Influence attacked the Colon. But we did see how Izzy Dame, which was going to attempt, seemed like she was going to hit Tatum Paxley with the NXT Women's Championship belt, but she changed her mind. It seemed like she saw JC Jane run behind her. She hit her with the belt. That led Tatum Paxley to hit her finisher on JC Jane and crown a brand new NXT Women's Champion at the count of 1, 2, 3. Tatum Paxley wins her championship. She came a long way. She is from the NXT 2.0 era. Unlike Blake Monroe, she's been there much longer. She's with the Diamond Mine, with that stable, and then having her character with all her friends being released like Shotzi and Gigi Dolan, or friends like Lara Valkyrie get moved to the main roster. She stuck it out, and now she is the NXT Women's Champion. Congratulations to Tatum Paxley. But something tells me with Tatum Paxley that Izzy Dame is going to want that belt, and that's when I hope they don't pull the Evolution. She won the title, they turned on her, but it's going to be very interesting how this is going to go. But congratulations to Tatum Paxley. I'm glad she was able to capture the NXT Women's title, because that was a shocking win and definitely a very good NXT Halloween Havoc event as a whole. But I'm glad that they was able to do that for her. Tatum Paxley deserved it. She put in the work. I was expecting Tatum Paxley to actually capture more of Blake Monroe's title, which is the NXT Women's North America title, rather than the NXT Women's Championship. But Blake Monroe, you know, she needs a run. She's doing the thing. But I will say with Tatum Paxley, she has a character. She always had the weird, creepy looking character, so it makes sense. But something tells me that Izzy Dame is going to be the one to take the championship up off of Tatum Paxley at some given point. But I'm still happy that both of these women were able to do their thing and win these championships at Halloween Havoc. I will say not just that, this is actually one of the best Halloween Havocs I've seen in a while. Real good Halloween Havoc. The last Halloween Havoc I remember being real good like this was back in 2021 when Mandy Rose defeated then champion Raquel Rodriguez, known as Raquel Gonzalez, for the NXT Women's Championship and start her legendary 409-day run as NXT Women's Champion. So this is a very good for both women to win these titles. I'm happy for both of them. They put in the work. I have no problem with the booking on that. But like I said, I could see Blake Monroe will have a belt for a while, but something tells me that Tatum Paxley may not have as long as a run as I think Blake Monroe will have. But only time will tell. The caller will be backing her up. But Izzy Dame, you got to watch out for her. She is a backstabbing character. She is going to want that belt for herself. And I don't even think she really wanted Tatum Paxley to win that championship. I think she only wanted Tatum Paxley to win the championship because she knows she could manipulate Tatum and control her, and it'd be easier to take the belt off of Tatum Paxley compared to taking the championship off JC Jane, which has been a lot harder because she got fatal influence on her side. So I will say it's very interesting. I can't wait to see where it's going to go. We do have NXT deadline coming up, I believe December 5th or 6th of the following month. So we'll see how that goes for NXT, how they're going to do that one. But it's definitely going to be a good booking with that. But this was a good one. Have noticed with NXT, the last 3 NXT Women's Champions, Tatum Paxley, JC Jane, and Stephanie Valkyrie. Shawn Michaels like booking NXT Women's Champions with dark hair. That may be a mystery. Maybe another video may I talk about later. But other than that, guys, that's all I have for Tatum Paxley and Blake Monroe win first championships at NXT Halloween Havoc. And we're talking about new NXT Women's and NXT Women's North American Champion. You guys let me know, did you agree with the booking and decision of both of these women winning championships, or you thought it should have went another way when it comes to Blake Monroe and Tatum Paxley both capturing these championships? Because it was very good booking, and it was predictable all the way for once for NXT. Well, other than that, though, guys, you check out the content here at Red Carpet Ring, and you already know what it is at this point. It's OUT.